Hello everyone, welcome back to 1.91 News with Bacon, where today we're going to be taking a look at the British helicopter tree, which hasn't exactly been announced, but it kind of has. Now, obviously on Gaijin social media, they like to post hints to things that are coming up, and that is what they've done here, saying something is coming with this screenshot of a silhouette of a helicopter. This is very obviously, to any heli fans, a Westland Lynx, which is a British helicopter that has been very widely used not only by the British Armed Forces, but also by many export customers, including France and Germany, so those tech trees could also receive the Lynx in the future. Now, the British versions of this did carry a nice variety of weapons. The attack variant could carry 20mm gun pods, 70mm CRV-7 rocket pods, which are unguided, and also tow ATGMs. You then have the naval variant, which I don't know if we'll be getting because helis aren't in naval, but this could carry torpedoes, sea skewer missiles, or depth charges. Now, generally, any variant of the Lynx could also mount 7.62mm machine guns or 50 caliber machine guns. So, a good variety of weapons there, and I feel like this might be like the Bo 105, where we have 8 tows overall, but what you could then do is have 4 on one side and replace 4 tows on the other side with, say, a 20mm cannon or with the 70mm rocket pod. That could be an interesting loadout, and especially considering how this heli is fairly small, fairly fast, it could be really fun and sort of would be quite like some of the Gazelles that we have in game. Talking of the Gazelle, that's another heli we could see, as the British did use a version of the Gazelle. This was the Westland Aircraft Gazelle, which was a license-built version built by Westland, which of course is the company who make pretty much every British heli. Now, we could get the Gazelle, we could get the Westland Lynx. They would likely both be at tier 6. I think at least one version of the Lynx is more or less confirmed, as Gaijin have posted a silhouette of a Lynx. Now, what else could we get? Obviously, in the lower tiers, there's a few options. I'm personally preferring the Scout and the Wasp, both, again, built by Westland. The Scout is the British Army version, the Wasp is the Navy version, effectively the same heli. These could carry, basically, SS-11 anti-tank guided missiles, seen them before on the Alouette 2, and it could also carry machine guns, and then the Wasp, the naval version, could carry various torpedoes and depth charges, as well as a WE-177 nuclear depth bomb, which, as far as I can tell, is basically a nuclear depth charge, which certainly sounds interesting. Funnily enough, though, the Wasp could also carry some flares, which is interesting, and it could also carry some floats. So, one, it would be interesting to have a heli which is mounted on floats, effectively be a sea heli, and, you know, flares on maybe a starter heli. I think not. But you never know, there's always a first for everything, and since the Wasp and the Scout are more or less the same heli, just with slight variations depending on what branch of the military they were in, with the Wasp being the Navy and the Scout being the Army, we could see one of these as the British Premium heli, and then the other one be the starter heli. Currently, I'm presuming that we will get the Lynx or a version of the Gazelle as our top heli, but there's always a chance we could get the Augusta Westland Apache, which is a British license-built version of, well, the AH-64 Apache. This couldn't carry a huge amount of weapons. Of course, you could carry a variety of unguided rockets, the CVR-7s that we previously mentioned, or how to pronounce this? HISAP warheads. High Explosive Incendiary Semi-Armor Piercing. Long name, sounds like they pack a lot of death, but it could carry them as well. Now, of course, it could carry Hellfires, and it was proposed to carry the Starstreak and the Brimstone guided missiles. We do have the Starstreak in game, but I don't know if we're going to be seeing that really on this heli, since it was proposed but never actually used. Of course, then the Apache does also have its M230 chain gun with 1,200 rounds of ammunition. This heli, I really don't think it's not even as powerful as the AH-1Z Viper, so we could see this topping the British tree. I really wouldn't be surprised. But that more or less sums up my brief thoughts as seeing this social media post. As I said, I'll be going into more detail when an actual devblog comes out. But just to sum up what I've said, I'm thinking we'll have either the Scout or the Wasp as the starter heli, the Gazelle or the Lynx as sort of the main tier 6 heli, and possibly, very slim chance, we could in theory get the Augusta Westland Apache as the top heli. I really don't feel it'll be that overpowered, at least compared to the AH-1Z, but we're just going to have to wait and see for the devblog and see what we're going to be getting. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in. I will, of course, be making another video tomorrow, hopefully, when Gaijin get around to posting the actual devblog for the British heli tree, and I'll be bringing you all the information on that when that happens. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.